I'm gonna be honest, my soulmate doesn't have 3 or more kids. 1 kid, cool. 2 kids, you doing too much, but I could still love you. 3 kids, you just not for me. I'm sorry. Bro, that I don't fit into the equation, especially if I don't have any kids of my own. No, because, like, bro, what do I look like having a 4th kid with you and then 3 other kids by someone else? I gotta play super stepdad. I don't even want my personal family to be that big. You feel me? So, you just not for me, man. But there's someone out there for everyone. You feel me? Maybe you can meet another dude that also has 3 kids, single dad, and y'all just create a whole army and go crazy. You feel me? Everyone got their preferences, but I'm just letting y'all know, like, 3 kids, like, I don't care what you tell me, you and your baby daddy are never gonna be done. You feel me? You gotta see your baby daddy every month. And I'm not mature enough. I can't handle that. I'm sorry. Like, truly, I'm genuinely sorry.
What's more interesting is, as a woman, you would have to literally sacrifice yourself and be with a man who literally has 8 kids. 8 kids or more. This man has about a whole army of children. And then you have to love him and marry him. You have to be the understanding partner and be like, as long as he loves me. And also, even if he marries you, goes out and creates other kids in marriage, you have to stand by and love those kids as though they are your own. As though, this person is the love of your life and you should stick by him. I always say that I will never for the life of me ever sympathize with cheaters. I do not sympathize with cheaters. I feel like they bring about not just problems but diseases as well. If I'm gonna catch HIV or STD or whatever, I might as well catch it by myself with my own activities that I do with other men than to sit at home, then somebody brings it to me while I'm busy loving this person. It's the worst kind, So for me, I prefer really a man with no kids. Okay? And sometimes I would prefer a man with children because he wouldn't disturb me because I do not necessarily want kids. This man would not nag me because I do not want kids. I'm not sure about kids. I love them, okay? God knows that I will love the idea, but to maintain a child is something I do not want. So I'll be okay with a man who has a child, 2 kids, because he would not come with the baggage of me expecting me to give him a child, okay? But there are women, we're expanding on this conversation of having a child, and men have been openly expressive that they do not want to start an army with. He's not even the only American man that I know. I know even Black South African men who say the same thing. And we're gonna have this conversation with another Black South African woman, and we're gonna expand on it.
But what I'm asking is, can the people without children, mostly ladies without children, who feel like they would like to have their children in Mshadweni, please gather on here? I just want to see something, because ngazathi ithine siyinkinga ngazathi mase sosho ukuthi cha angithandi ukuzwana nomuntu onomntwana ngoba nami anginayo umntwana bengithanda ukumthola emshadweni kuba into enkulu. So bengicela bandla ukuthi uma ukuthi nicabanga kanje ngami, please gather on here and let's have a conversation as to how we're going to tell these people without fighting ukuthi sisi right ngalendlela isiyona. Right. Futhi even if lo mshado ufiki and asibi nazi ingane, nalowo futhi kulungile. Kulimaza abantu. Angicabanga ukuthi kulimaza wena. Like, honestly. Please, can we gather here? I just want to see something. Thanks. See this one here. He says, I'm 33. I don't have a child out of marriage, and I don't want to have a lady with a child. Finish. And that's awesome. To hear gents speaking like this is amazing. Then it means kusasekhona ithemba. like we're fighting for a good cause, you know, because there are people who still want people with no children and they themselves don't have kids as well. You know, it's not a thing of ukuthi amadoda awasekho angenazi ingane. Now akhona. And I've seen quite a few in the comments. I've seen quite a few. So don't tell us that it's impossible because it's not. Don't make us feel bad for it because we shouldn't feel bad. It's a decision that we've decided to take and that's okay. I've also been seeing a lot of people saying that they're tired of having this conversation. I will not be tired. I refuse. Ngizokhuluma about it. If you come for me and uyadelela or whatever the case is, ngizokuphendula njengomoya wesonto kamnandi nje futhi ngengize ngikudelele. Kodwa lapho engizokuthuka khona is if uzongitshela ukuthi abortion what cha yabona-ke lapho sajwayelana-ke kuphela kabi. Angeke zihambe kahle. Angeke zihambe kahle impela. So I just want to say I appreciate everybody that's on here that has said their piece or their opinion about the situation or this matter. I really appreciate your honesty about it. And please know that this is a judge-free zone. Let me just say, especially on my side, I'm not going to judge anybody. I've seen quite a few ladies who say they have children and they would have chosen to have them in marriage. That's okay, you know. I appreciate that one. Kona Abani who is saying that in as much as they have kids, they would advise other ladies who don't have kids to actually have them imshadweni. I feel like that is something that should be appreciated. Yeah, I'm repeating myself now. But I'm saying thank you to them because they clearly understand where we're coming from and they're not making us feel. But I do want to say to the people who are saying, Uguti, we are, to the people who are saying, Uguti, there have been a lot of babies that were conceived but not given birth to. That to me doesn't sit well with us. It's basically you saying that we've aborted kids. I want to say to that, how do you know? Are you part owner of my womb? First of all, do you know me personally to tell me that? You know. Secondly, there are other women who have had bad experiences when it comes to pregnancies. You know, we're not gonna discard that, you know, because I know there are women who wanted to have kids but then physically cannot or have had miscarriages or whatever the case might be. Musanubatelela. You guys don't know the circumstances of their lives. Like, you really don't. So, which is why I was saying specifically for me and specifically to the ladies who have decided to say they want their children in marriage, that's it. That's all that I was asking. Just gather here. That's all. So we can just have a decent conversation. But now, if you're going to be putting other things, ezingahlangene nalento esikhuluma lana hayi bandla. Angikho happy ngalokho.
For me, I've never had an abortion. I love children, like I said. I love children, you know. I just feel like children are a lifetime commitment. Like, they also have personalities that you also have to cater to. They have their own characters, and you also have your own character. You are responsible for guiding that person, and that person literally looks up to you. And not to mention the support, the emotional grievances, physical presence, mentally present. Like, there's just too much labor that goes into producing children. And people just think that they are pets and you can treat them like pets. Even in marriage, okay, you can marry someone and that person becomes literally emotionally available, and those children consistently seek out love and affection elsewhere. So marriage does not necessarily give the security that your child will be loved, and it's you just having that thing that you will love your child irrespective of the nonsense that goes around, especially when you're a black parent.
Oh, I am so very passionate about this topic. I love it so much. So yes, I just wanted to add on top of it about how it's something that as a society we need to definitely speak about, but more than that, as a black community, we need to speak about. I'm 35, not married, no kids, and I'm waiting to be married before I have kids. And people literally will look at you when you say that. They'll ask you, "Oh, how old are you?" "Oh, no, I'm 35. Do you have any kids?" "No, I don't have any kids." "Why don't you have any kids? You're 35 already." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not married." And they're like, "So that doesn't mean you can't have a kid?" They literally look at you like I said, I want to take the sun and chew it like bubblegum. That's how crazy that they think that this subject or this idea of you waiting for marriage before you have kids is just ludicrous. And on top of that, they make you feel as if being a single woman, make you feel as if being single, unmarried, and no kids, they make you feel like you're an oddity, like you're defunct and broken. And that is so not true. Like I said, my desire is for me to get married and have kids. And if that's not God's plan for my life, then that's not God's plan for my life. And He will fulfill me in my singlehood. And also, like I said, it can be for me, it's a thing of my faith, and for other people, it's something that they choose. They just don't want to have kids, and that's all right too. And they enjoy that they are single, and that's just their portion and what they want and what they've been given. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And we need to stop perpetuating that if you are a woman and you're not married and don't have kids, that you have no function or add value to any society. You can be a mother-like figure to a kid if you want to. If that's not your speed, that's not your speed. And we need to stop forcing that onto people. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong in wanting to wait for marriage before you say, "Hey, this is a great commitment." You know, when people always say, "No, you should definitely have kids now," a few things always pop in my head. Number one, I must just pull a random man off the street and go to bed with him and then have a baby. Okay, and then I've pulled this random man. These same people who are saying you must have a kid, are you there? Have you seen how much Nestum is, first of all? Have you seen how much Pampers are? What if my baby is allergic to Pampers and only has Huggies? Or my baby can't take Huggies and can only take Pampers Gold Exclusive Premium? Are you paying for those nappies? What if my baby can't take Johnson & Johnson? My siblings and I, our skin would react to Johnson & Johnson, so you can't buy me that. That means you need to go and buy special wipes, Bepanthen, and what. Are they contributing to those things? Or are they just telling you that, hey, you've reached a certain age in life, this is what you should be doing, and then we're just going to leave you to it. And then all of a sudden it's, hey, you should have chosen better. Hey, whoa, baby mama. Hey, if you had just closed your legs, what kind of man will want you now that you have a kid? What is it? What do you want? Do you want someone who is going to be responsible, knowing that financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, they are able to raise a child, have a child, and provide the best for their child? Or do you want to go out and just be name-calling people out in society? You cannot have it both ways. So, and it's also important to realize that not everybody wants to go into a marriage where someone has a child already. For me personally, I am a very traditional person. I'm not even gonna lie. And when I say that, I'm not like, oh, I must be pregnant and barefoot while the man does everything and I'm just making bread from scratch. Not like that. But for me, I want to have my children within the institution of marriage. I want us to have children together. I don't want it to be like you had a child and then I had a child and then we have a family together. Nothing wrong with that. For me personally, I want us together to build a family. And there's nothing wrong with that. So like I said, that's what makes me a bit traditional, if you would, in that sense, that I want to have a family within the confines of marriage and with my husband, this person that I've decided I want to dedicate my future and my life with, to build a home and a family with. So don't lower your standards, because that's what people want. They want, I think, women and men, I think men sometimes are also, I think also men are subject to this as well. Don't lower your standards because people want you to be at a certain point in your life. If it's not happened now, that means it's not meant to happen for you now. It can be difficult, it can be hard, and it can be discouraging in society, I would say. So don't settle for anything. Carry on in what you desire. And when it is the right time, it will happen for you. And we need to just be better as a society in not putting ourselves in other people's business. I've learned it the hard way. I remember the one time I asked a lady at church, "Hey, your son is so beautiful. How come you don't have another baby?" I couldn't sleep for a week. The next week she was the first person I went to, and I said, "I'm so sorry for inserting myself in your business, and I hope you didn't take it the wrong way and I wasn't pushing you," because you don't know what that person's struggle is. You don't know if the person has been trying to have a second child, whether there's she's had miscarriages, or there's issues in getting pregnant again, or maybe they don't even want a second child. We should be comfortable enough in staying in our own lane and not perpetuating our idea of what family or what a journey is supposed to look like just because so and so said it, or just because you're on that journey, or because you're not on that journey. So yeah, let's try and be as kind to people as possible. It's not an unrealistic thing to say, "Hey, look, I do want kids, but I'm waiting to do it in the confines of marriage. No, I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who already has kids. I would prefer to have kids of my own within the confines of a relationship that I've built in trust with a partner that I have chosen and made a commitment and dedication to." So yeah, girl, you are not alone. We are here and we are standing firm in what we want. So here we are.